So, we've all seen it. We've all seen the PS5 Pro. And dear God, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I have been a PlayStation 5 owner since very early on. I was really excited for this console. I loved my PS4 to death. I was using that thing until it sounded like a jet engine. So when the PS5 sold out when it first came out, I was a bit bummed out, but that didn't stop me. I would sit on websites for hours, waiting, refreshing, trying to get one of these things. And when I got one, not long after launch, I was happy. I sat down, played Spider-Man Miles Morales all in one sitting, was a bit disappointed, and had a great time with my new system. But I don't think the PS5 has been that fantastic. Compared to previous generations of PlayStation consoles, this one just sort of seems to lack that sauce. There haven't been loads of exclusive games, but what we have got is good, and I do think the PS5 is the definitive way to play most of these multi-plat games. But when the rumours started to rumble of a PS5 Pro, I thought, when the PS4 Pro came out, you know, I didn't have money, I was a little young, I was still in school, I didn't dip into that, but that would have really improved my PS4 experience, because again, my PS4 sounded like it would take off when I launched Black Ops 3. So even though I wasn't having trouble with my PS5, I thought, hey, I'm an adult, I got mad money to waste now. Why not buy a PS5 Pro? So all they had to do was release an average looking PS5 Pro, exactly what I was expecting, and I would have bought it. But Jesus Christ, I'm not buying this. So let's take a look at all the problems I have with this ugly console. Seriously, what are those 3 lines going down the middle? Didn't realise Adidas were designing the PS5 these days. And let's take a look at why me, someone who is a shill, a fanboy, and was really excited to buy a new console, is not buying the PS5 Pro. Firstly, I love discs. I'm a big physical games person. I could have got the non-disc PS5 on launch, but I chose not to because I wanted the disc drive one. I like buying games, I like collecting games, and as disappointed I was that it was even an option to not have the disc drive for the PS5, that's fine. I just saw it as a budget option, and it's not for me. But the fact that the newest console by Sony, the newest PlayStation, doesn't even offer a disc drive at all without spending an extra, I think it's $100, really hurts. Not only am I disappointed that this specific console won't take discs and won't take the discs that I have bought over the years, I'm also disappointed that this might be the beginning of the end for physical media in gaming. I could go on and on about how much I like discs and how much I like actually owning the game instead of a license to own the game, which can be revoked at any moment despite the fact that I paid for it, but that's a different video. The point is, the PlayStation 5 Pro has no disc drive, and that is a massive turnoff for me. Oh, of course, unless you want to spend extra money for a disc drive, it doesn't matter that the console is already ludicrous expensive. Also, I hope you didn't want a stand, because you got to pay more for that too. This console is $700. Why not just buy a PC at that point? And I got a PC, I got a PS5, I don't mind spending a bit of money on a console, but $700? And what the biggest kick in the dick is I'm from the UK. They showed all these prices side by side like it's something to be proud of. And if the PS5 Pro is $700, why is it also £700? $700 is £533. So why, compared to an American, am I spending an extra 170 quid on the same product, which isn't even worth £530? The joys of being British and the everlasting consequence of Brexit. Cheers, Boris. I paid like £550 for my PS5, and that's better, because it can take discs. It doesn't matter that it has a million less mega shits and can't do ray tracing of Leon Kennedy's ass crack. And that's one of my big problems with the PS5 Pro, and just consoles in general. New consoles feel less and less exciting, because we're really at a point of diminishing returns now. Look at the jump between the PS2 and the PS3. That's pretty big. Look at the jump between the PS3 and the PS4. Yeah, it's big, but we're already in HD now. The jump is big, but it's getting smaller. And then the jump from the PS4 to the PS5. It was impressive at the time, but nowhere near as revolutionary as what comes before. Did you see in the trailer for the PS5 Pro that screenshot they showed? Oh great, in the mid-distance I can see 10 more pixels, I don't care. Not only will I not even notice the game looking this good, but it actually kind of annoys me that the game looks this good. Because games push graphics so far, that's what causes them to be so expensive. That's what causes them to be so unsustainable. That's what causes people to lose their jobs. That's what causes less games. That's what causes everyone to be miserable. In conclusion, the PS5 Pro makes everyone miserable. £700, by the way, for your misery. My misery doesn't even come with a stand. So despite the fact that this console has many more teraflops, it can ray trace out of its arse, and the fact that it can make Ratchet and Clank out of AI or whatever they said it did, all the games they showed are old. There's nothing new. There's nothing technologically mind-blowing to show it off. All the games they showed looked pretty good before, and some of them, even in the trailers, even in the best of what they're showing off, still run at 30 frames a second. For £700, which let me remind you, 130 quid more than the American version, you can buy a PC which can definitely do all of this, and with the PlayStation games coming to PC at some point or another, just buy a PC. I like the PS5. I don't think it's terrible. The PS5 Pro is awful. Don't buy this. Don't support this. Just buy a PS5. There are good games. It's worth a buy. What do you think of the PS5 Pro? Because I think it's truly bleak and it paints a bad picture for video games. Be sure to comment your opinion down below and leave a like on the video, as well as subscribe if you enjoyed, because I'm the biggest PS5 Pro hater on this platform, and if that level of hating doesn't deserve a subscription, I don't know what does. And with all my bitterness out the way, I'll see you in the next one.